Isn't it always us?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do our thing before we forget. Hi,
Okay.
I'm Kayla Lord.
And I'm John Brownstone.
This is Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships.
Welcome.
We did the thing. Okay, I do not know if I exist until my existence is validated by others. But for anybody watching after the live stream, and before I put timestamps in, fast forward by about 4 minutes. If you're here for the live stream, you're stuck until we get started. I'm going to say hi to people. Hi, Ashley. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Mel. Hi, Sassy Vanessa. Hi, Missy. Hi, Silent Wing. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Liz. Yay, I said hi.
Hi, Mel. Hi, Tayshu. Hi, Silent Wing. Hi, Miss Spock. Hi, Liz.
You might forget somebody. Be careful. You didn't scroll like I scroll. Hi, Kristen.
Hi, Kristen.
I am in my winter gear. I bought this on clearance 9 months ago.
And you're right, I did. Hi, Sassy Vanessa.
See, told you. You gotta be careful.
Yeah.
Hi, Rama. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello, hello.
So we got 4 minutes. Yes, I'm actually wearing layers. I have a black shirt under this because this is a little bit of a crop and it's not very thick. I am not wearing a bra because I don't want to.
Well,
are you wearing? No, you're not wearing a bra.
No, I never wear a bra.
I kinda. For whoever just strolled up in this live stream right when JB said that, yes, it's like this all the time.
Anyway, I am not taken away from anybody because I know if it's what it is here, it is that much worse somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure.
But for us Florida folk, it was freaking cold this morning.
Frost on the ground this morning.
There was heavy frost.
Not at our house.
There was heavy frost on the ground. What protected our yard from getting frost were all the trees we have. But there was definitely heavy frost on the ground. 26 degrees Fahrenheit at 6 a.m. this morning. That's pretty freaking chilly for us this time of the year.
Yeah.
Normally this is mid to late January, February weather for us. So it
only lasts a couple days, and then it warms up a little bit, and then it'll drop a little bit, then it'll warm up a little bit. We're in that cycle.
So, I mean, I love the cool weather, but this is downright freaking cold for Florida.
I am so happy. I mean, I don't want to, I can say that I'm so happy because I don't have to spend time out in it. I took the dog out. That was about it. And I did it after the sun was fully up. So I sat like a lizard on a rock. But I'm wearing long pants and socks and long sleeves, and I'm happy. I'm happy, because you want to know what I'm not doing right now, because I haven't had a hot flash recently. I'm not fucking sweating. Just saying. And yes, we were having this conversation several weeks ago when I was wondering about this. I now know that when you have a hot flash in cold weather, it's still hot as fuck. And that sucks. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Angel. Hi, Jonesy. Did I make sure I didn't miss anybody? We got hi, Sir Daddy Scarface. We've got 2 minutes according to the clock. So
see, I'm ready to hop down to the
hi, Tanya.
Caribbean. You know, like where Mel is. It's nice there. Temperate right now. I
mean,
believe.
Yeah, but I still don't want to sweat. I'm so tired of sweating. Hi, D. I don't know if the mic will pick that up, but Lola is in her crate next to us, and she is playing with her blankies and her unicorn toy, so you may hear squeaking. We'll have to do that for the podcast folks later, too.
Yes.
Whew, but she is coming out of her shell even more, and she's making more noises.
Yep.
So who knows what'll happen here.
Right.
Before we get into it, because it's a minute till, my shirt's from Torrid, so I don't have a link. Like I said, I got it on clearance, but it does say "Pardon my sarcasm." I know there's no pardoning for it, but it's the polite thing to say "Pardon my sarcasm." And your shirt is from McNixia's shop. It's true.
It's true. It's very fitting for me.
And the link to the shirt JB is wearing is in the description box. So if anybody wants one of those, and let's see, what else? If you enjoy whatever this is, at any point, we love a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. When I checked before we went live, we were at 4,099.
We need one more.
Who will be 4,100?
4,100 officially.
And I want to meet whoever, and this is ages into the future, but whoever gets us to 6969.
Yeah.
I'll want to shake your hand. I'm just saying.
In the year.
No, wait. If you subscribe, then
you hit that notification bell so you get notified when we have new content coming out.
Okay, sure, just do it, Day says. And as always, a plug for our Patreon where you get extra stuff. This coming Saturday, December 5th, if I'm remembering dates correctly, and dates are difficult, we will be doing a patron-only live stream where we do a Q&A. We do that once a month. And we do a special behind-the-scenes podcast episode every month. And we have a special patron-only Discord server. So there's stuff. If you help us, we help you.
I like stuff.
I like stuff. Oh, my online shopping habits prove I love stuff.
Yes.
Oh, I would have. I mean, like a year ago, I'd have been like, yeah, capitalism. Yeah, I'm a shopper. Yeah, I'm a consumer. Consumerism. Yeah. And now I'm like, oh God, no, it's a problem. It's a serious problem. Yeah. Okay, so that is all of that stuff.
Okay.
You can bring
Can I hit the magic button?
Will you remember you've hit the magic button for the podcast? No, I know.
All right. Here we go.
Okay.
Ready?
No.
Gonna do it now.
Okay. Before we get into this week's episode, a few things. One, if you hear funky noises in the background, especially podcast listeners where you can't see anything for context, it could be Lola. She's a grunter. She's a snorty McSnorterson. She has squeaky toys. So,
yep.
I don't know what'll happen, but you might hear something. Two, we are not sponsored this week, but we are sponsored this week because we're sponsoring our damn selves. Because you got to, like, big up yourself sometime. The Kinkery, the shop, your shop,
yes,
thekinkery.com, where you make weapons of ass destruction and other fuckery.
Dang straight.
It exists. We just want you to know. We don't have any special anything going on. If you sign up for our newsletter over at the site, then you get a 10% off coupon. If you are a patron through our Patreon, there is a perpetual forever coupon always available. So there is that. But yeah, the Kinkery. You make the hitty things.
Yes.
We sell those hitty things. You are currently developing more hitty things.
Yes, I am.
That probably will not appear until after Christmas. It's just how life has gone this year. But yeah, it exists. If you don't have any money to spend, we would love it if you'd follow us on social media. If you are there, we're at The Kinkery on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Instagram, I think, is where we're most active because I love Instagram.
Yeah.
Compared to those other three. And we are technically on FetLife, but you are in charge of that. So I don't know. The Kinkery shop, I think is what it is, right? On FetLife? You don't remember. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, you don't remember, do you? Okay.
I haven't been keeping up with it. I've been so busy out in the shop.
I know.
Making stuff. I haven't.
I know.
Yeah.
Instagram's the best because I'm always there.
Yeah.
So yes, we are sponsoring ourselves. Damn it. So there's that. And what else? I think that is it. This week's topic is really hard to summarize in like 5 words or less. So I'm just going to like explain it and where we're coming from. I do not know that we have any concrete advice on this. I just want to acknowledge that it happens a lot. It's happened to us in our own relationship. It's happened to us in previous relationships. I think it's just a thing that happens. And if it's never happened to you, either you're super fortunate or it just hasn't happened yet. Give it some time. And that is this phenomenon that when things start going, let's say wrong or start getting rough in a relationship, we feel that something's off. But what ends up happening is after it blows up, we look back and go, I knew something was wrong. I kind of knew something. I knew it. I kind of knew it. And I just sort of want to have a conversation about the fact that we do that, that if you're doing that, if you can think back clearly and go, oh God, yeah, I just did that or whatever. 1, you're not alone. And 2, maybe just talk about, is there a reason why we do that? I don't know. I've done it in our relationship. So this is really common in breakups. People end up breaking up and then they go, I knew something was wrong. I could feel it. but nothing had been done, or maybe you were sitting there waiting, hoping like magically it would just go away or whatever.
Yeah.
But we've had that happen in our relationship.
Oh, yeah.
We're still happy. So it happens in even healthy, happy power exchange relationships. So I just kind of, I don't know, this will be a long conversation, but I just want to acknowledge that this is a thing that happens. It happens to many of us. It happens at different times, and it happens for different reasons. So let us talk about it. So I made some notes to try and, this isn't all of it. This isn't every reason or everything that will occur. It's just what came to mind when I thought about it. So I made notes because we're pretending to be professionals around here. The one thing I always notice when I end up having that feeling, that looking back and going, oh yeah, is that I have a feeling of dread. Now, I'm an anxious person with actual anxiety. I have to be careful. I can't follow every feeling of dread I have, because if I'm in a bad mental health cycle and my anxiety has spiked, everything makes me feel dread. And I do think that there's a bit of understanding of oneself where you have to try to discern, is this dread because my brain is wonky? Is this dread because something's going on? Have you ever had that feeling?
Yes, I have. I'm not. I may not be the anxious person like you are.
Thank God, this relationship can only handle one of us.
But yes, it has happened to me. What I am good at, though, what I excel in, is creating that feeling of dread.
Ooh, yeah. I've probably done that too, but yeah.
I am the master of it, and because I will do things like, I'll be getting ready to run out the door, and I'll say to her, we need to talk. We need to have a conversation later. Yeah, see? That happens. And then I run things, and it's not anything that is really...
It's usually not even anything major. It's some small thing.
It's just some small thing. Hey, we need to talk later,
So we do have a way of dealing with that, by the way.
Yeah, and I have gotten better about that.
Yes. So that feeling of dread is the first sign of the thing that needs to happen that usually does not happen, which is why you then look back in hindsight and go, I knew something was off. And that is, I think you have to talk about it. Now, talking about it can just be acknowledging that you're feeling off. I have said to you many, many times, something doesn't feel right.
Right.
I don't know what it is. Something doesn't feel right. And as an anxious person, I have the constant struggle of, is this my intuition? Is this my mental health?
Yeah.
Which one is this? But the only way to kind of work through that is to say, I'm feeling a way about this.
Right.
What's going on?
And I know for myself, when I get that feeling of dread, for me, it usually kind of goes hand in hand with that gut instinct.
Yes. Your gut is pretty good, and you're not a naturally anxious person. No. You're usually pretty calm and cool and collected. And I would say, if you are that type of person, when you get that feeling of dread, that's not a definite that something is awful and wrong and your relationship is now doomed. I just think it's something to acknowledge and listen to. Yeah. Those of us who do have some level of anxiety, diagnosed or otherwise, we probably have to parse through it a little bit more. And I think what ends up happening, to tell me there was something on your mind. What are we doing here? So that is one of the things that comes to mind when you look back and you go, oh, I knew there was something off. I knew this relationship wasn't going to last. I knew they were upset. I knew something was like that moment you say, I knew it. And you're looking back at what you knew, because if you're not looking back, that would be my first piece of advice. Look back. Where were the signs? What were the signs? If a feeling of dread or worry or concern or fear is part of it, the next time you have that in any relationship, that would be the thing I would do, is you got to name it. You got to say it out loud. And the thing is part of what I think stops people is fear. If you name the thing, then you have to face the thing. If you say something feels off, your partner might go, yes, something is off. And for some people, that's terrifying. I know there were times back in the day, certainly early days with you, and in previous relationships, kinky or vanilla, I would rather avoid it, stick my head in the ground, not say the thing, because what if I heard something I didn't want to hear? What if my concern was validated and there is a problem here? What if I was, like, all the what ifs? I play the what if game very well. I'm practically pro, okay? Yeah. I know that I'm safe in this relationship with you, and so I don't do that anymore. Well, I just fucking say something. It took
me a long time with you. Yes. You refused to talk about any of your feelings for quite a while. What I have to do to you is tell you, baby girl, use your words. And that was very, very tough for you. So I used to have to use different tools with you to get you to open up. You know, send me an email, send it in text. Okay. And now that you feel comfortable, that you feel safe, I can't get you to stop.
I know. Sometimes you're like, could you tell?
Like, time out, baby girl.
Can we have a fewer of these conversations? That'd be great. Nope, because you have unleashed the beast.
I've opened the gates, yeah.
And I have things to say.
Yeah.
And I do think that's an important component, though. One, feeling safe enough to do it.
Right.
And two, having the tools and the different ways and means of doing it. But three, there's an important thing, is having a partner who's willing to, even when they don't understand, even when they're like, oh my God, is my partner a crazy person, listening without judgment.
Yeah.
The thing I find that, in my experience, where I have held back saying necessary, important things, there's lots of reasons, but one of the big reasons is a fear of judgment. Would the other person tell me I was wrong? Would the other person even listen to me? Would the other person go, what the hell's wrong with you? And I think that's, I don't know that it's fine, but it's certainly common early on in relationships. And that makes sense. You don't yet have that deep trust that you hope to one day have. If you are still having that concern and y'all been together for a while, I've got questions. Because the one thing that ought to happen, it doesn't always, but that I think ought to happen, is that as you go along and the longer you are together and the more you communicate with each other on both sides, listening and speaking, if things are where they need to be, that trust develops and becomes deeper.
Sure.
Because you weather those arguments or those misunderstandings or those moments where you were trying to express something and it didn't come out quite right and your partner took it wrong and then you had to work through it. And, you know, all of those things that contribute to learning that, hey, I can say what's on my mind with this partner and it's okay to do it. Even if they don't get it, it's okay to say it, because that luxury, that ability is what keeps the relationship moving, either moving forward or stopping at a natural point, instead of what tends to happen, especially in situations where a relationship ends, is you keep moving forward and you never say the thing that scares you because you really don't want to know the answer because you're pretty sure you know what the answer is. And sometimes you're wrong, by the way. And then it gets past a point of no return where maybe it was salvageable. Maybe it was an easy fix. Maybe the relationship wasn't meant to move forward, but it could have ended sooner on better terms with a lot less hurt feelings. And all of that is missed opportunities because we won't say the thing that's on our mind for whatever reason.
Well, I know for me, one of the things that was very hard for me to bring up to you in the beginning was because of fear of judgment. All right. You know, it took me a long time to open up about my sexuality in public. With her, I did so very early on because at the time we met, before we even developed a relationship, I was in kind of a casual relationship with two men.
Oh, yes. I wish that had worked out for you.
I know, but, you know,
things happen the way they're supposed to happen.
Like, and because of past judgments, it was very difficult for me to bring that up. So that had a definite feeling of dread in me. And yet at the same time, I knew I had to tell you, because if you weren't accepting of it,
better to know now.
Better to know now than, yeah.
And I know it's difficult when you're in the moment, but that has become my thinking over a lot of things. It's like, I'm going to tell you up front if I'm trying to date you, which I'm not because I don't know how to do that. I'm hopeless. I'm fucking kinky and I'm submissive. I'm not going to worry. I mean, I might worry about judgment because nobody really wants to be judged, but I'm going to tell you that up front because I'm not wasting our time, right? Now, granted, you and I had been together for a little bit before you told me that, but it's sort of like the fact that, you know, we practice ethical non-monogamy. That is an inherent part of who you are.
Yeah.
That is one of those deep-seated needs for you to function at your highest and best level. And you waited a while to talk to me about it. We'd been in a relationship for a while, but it was still early enough days that.
I mean, it was early enough. We had not even met yet. We were still talking online. No?
No.
Are you sure?
I think you had told me you were interested, but you didn't. We'd been together for several months.
Okay, I didn't think we had met yet at that point.
No, we'd been together several months at that point, but it was still early enough days
Yeah.
that yes, a breakup would be painful, God knows, but you know, again, I'm coming at this from a very safe and secure place. It is much easier to say from my position now, but I want you to know straight up front because. Let's figure out if this is a deal breaker or not. Now, the reality is that if you had told me that on day one, I might have been like, what? Because I wasn't as comfortable in my open relationship feelings as I am now. So maybe that's why you held off a little bit. Like, it wasn't the first conversation we had. But we'd been together a bit. We were in our feelings at that point.
And maybe that's what it was as we started developing feelings. Then I was like, oh, this needs to be.
And what's nice about that is what that allowed me to do was to feel comfortable with you. So you telling me that kind of stuff, I didn't, from a personal perspective, your mileage will vary. I didn't feel threatened by that. I wasn't like, oh, well, I'm not sure how I would feel about this. Whereas on day one, I might have been like, wait, what's this about? So there is an element of timing when you talk about the thing you dread or you reveal a piece of yourself to somebody. But I think that the not saying anything at all, it's not helping.
No,
it's just as scary as it may feel, as long as you're not putting yourself in actual danger or harm's way, like just say the thing. Say it and let the chips fall where they may. And then if that person's willing to talk to you about it, then you talk about it. Let's see. I had other notes. Okay. Here's the other one. Trying to fix things. So I've done this. You've done this. Everybody I know has done this. So you're in a relationship. You're like, something's not right. You've already had that feeling. You've got the feeling of dread. You can feel something coming. It's not good. You haven't had a conversation. You haven't named it. But what you've tried to do is to fix it. Now, fixing it can be a lot of things. Fixing it can be changing yourself. Oh, I need to change my expectations. I need to change how I do things. I need to reconfigure my entire life so that I make life as easy as possible so that I'm not a problem. If I have called you out accidentally, I'm sorry. I was talking about myself, okay? But we run around trying to fix a problem that we haven't named, we haven't talked about, we're not actively working on with a partner.
You know, being a fixer can be a cursing and a bless.
And we have... Go ahead.
And we have talked about that.
We have done an entire episode on that.
So, you know, and the thing is, while sometimes being a fixer can be problematic, there are times when it is good to be a fixer. But in order to fix something, fix it correctly, you have to know what the problem is.
Mm-hmm. And if you did all of that quote, let's put air quotes around the word fixing, and then the relationship ended anyway, did you actually fix anything, or did you make yourself a hot mess until the relationship ended?
Yeah.
Would the relationship have ended a quicker, maybe less messy, maybe less painful death if instead of trying to fix a problem you had not acknowledged to the other person? And again, let me say, fixing is a lot of things. Most of the things I see where people are fixing something and they're not actively communicating about it, they try to twist themselves into knots to be what they think their partner needs them to be to make this awful feeling of dread go away and the relationship can move forward. And all I can say is that was never going to be sustainable. If you can't be your full self to the extent you want to be your full self with a partner, and you have to twist and turn and adjust every step of the way without talking about it, without letting a partner know you're doing it, without admitting your fears, that's not working in the long term. Nobody's finding happiness there. Sometimes we do it because a partner is toxic and we have to keep ourselves safe, and I get that. Sometimes we do it because we have not given our partner the courtesy of even knowing that there's something going on with us and we think there's a problem. Sometimes there's a problem, and sometimes it's a bad tape that is biting you in the ass and is coming back to haunt you because you had this experience with a previous partner and something that has been said or done or some moment feels similar, and you are now reacting as if you were in that old relationship with this new relationship. Your current partner, clueless, doesn't know it's happening. You are in turmoil. They don't know. You are twisting yourself into knots. They don't know because we're back to the very first thing. You're feeling some kind of way and you hadn't said anything yet.
Right. And, wanting to fix it is commendable.
Sure. If there's actually a problem to fix.
And that's why before you slip into fixing mode, you have to sit down and have that conversation. First, find out if there really is a problem.
Right.
2, some things, hate to say it, just really aren't worth fixing.
Some relationships aren't meant to be. I don't care how much you want it. I don't care how much, you're both like into it. Sometimes it's just not meant to last for the long term. It might be good for right now, but when you try to drag it out and fix it and live with that dread, it's not good in that moment anymore. Who's having a good time? You don't seem to be. So yeah, not every relationship is meant to last for forever.
No. And then when, after having the conversation, you determine there is a problem, then 2 heads, sometimes more, are better than 1.
Sometimes. And
you can come up with a better solution to fix it than even you had thought of.
Yeah, especially, and this used to happen to me a lot. It still sometimes does. I will feel that sense of dread, go into my anxious brain, cook up what the problem must be, start trying to fix the problem, haven't said anything. Get myself all into a tizzy over what is wrong with the state of the relationship. Finally talk about it. Come to find out, my very first impression, that thing that made me feel any kind of dread, was not the thing. I misinterpreted it. I didn't have all the details. It was a temporary moment that I've turned into what I thought was a permanent thing that now had to be fixed. Like, I'll take it down a rabbit hole of anxiety and trying to fix something that's not a problem. And it can actually be a little jarring to hear, no, I stopped being angry at you like a week ago. What are you doing? Because your reality is then momentarily upended because you've been functioning with this certainty that this thing was a problem or this thing needed to be addressed. And when you finally talk about it, it's like, oh, did I make up all of that in my head? Oh, okay, that's embarrassing. That's unfortunate. That's time I won't get back. Quite frankly, that's the real one. That is time you will not get back. So, because many of us look back at a failed relationship or an argument in a current relationship, and hindsight's 2020. We were supposed to get to have that joke this year. We were supposed to get to celebrate that this year is 2020. We don't get that, but we can still use the phrase that hindsight is 2020. Because what are we going to look back on when we look back on 2020 and see that we can't see now, right? Instead of sort of torturing yourself with all the things you could have done or should have done, but you didn't do, or the things you didn't do that, whatever, my words got crossed there. The things you did do that you shouldn't have done, that's what I meant to say. They become lessons learned for the future, So I learned, let me go way back Vanilla Machine. The first time I had a long-term relationship where I had that sense of dread that something wasn't right, and then I didn't say anything, and then I ended up married, and I was like, how did I get here? And I became, a Pink Floyd song? Who are these beautiful children? Is this lovely wife? Yeah, that was me. I learned from that.
That was Talking Heads.
Talking Heads, thank you.
Same as it ever was.
I learned from that moment to never ignore that feeling of dread again. I can't undo what happened. I wouldn't undo most of what happened. Those are lessons learned. I'm the person I am today because of that shit. But I won't ignore that feeling again in the future. So when you do have that hindsight and you do see those lessons learned and you do look back and you go, oh my God, I totally should have done something different. You can't fix that. You can't redo that. We don't get to redo it. We know no repeats here. All you can do is say, okay, going forward, will I do anything different? Can I take a lesson from this? Is there something I know now that I didn't know then? How does that inform my decision making? That might be in how you choose a partner. That might be in how you communicate your concerns. That might be how you manage your expectations for what this relationship is going to be. Like there's all kinds of things that you can learn from and take with you into the future and attempt to maybe get it right the next time. You won't always. I still fuck it up. I know I can say whatever I need to say to John Brownstone, and there are still times I say not a fucking thing because old patterns and habits are hard to break. Okay, but I figured out a little bit quicker each time. We get through it a little bit better.
Yes.
You have learned how to better communicate with me, and yet, case in point from last week's moment where you gave me a panic attack by needing help, but you gave me no context. Well, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not still shaken by that. But we've been together how long? My anxiety has been a topic of conversation for how long? And you still learn lessons.
Yeah.
The thing about the fact that we are even having this conversation, because so many people will say something like, yeah, I knew there was something wrong with the relationship. I knew there was a problem, or I knew it was ending, and I thought I could just talk my way through it, or there was something else I could do, or I could fix something. That is us processing the lessons we learned. The real thing is, okay, what do you do now? What do you do with that information now that you have it? I'm not going to recommend ignoring it. I'm not going to recommend tossing it to the wind because this next partner seems inherently different than the last one. Even if that person isn't completely different and total opposite of your former partner, there's still information to be gleaned from what you just went through. Maybe not with the partner because they are a unique individual with their own shit, but how you handle things. How can you be a better partner? How can you be a better communicator? Hell, how can you be a better dominant or submissive? What did you do wrong too? Because in 99% of situations, if a relationship fails badly, and not just because you kind of go, yeah, this isn't working for me anymore. When it crashes and burns, there's two sides to that. It takes more than two people to do that to a relationship. So what can you learn? What can you do better? How can you improve yourself? This is about improving somebody else. How can you improve yourself from all that stuff that now you're sitting here going, oh, I knew it. I just knew it. I knew this was coming. I felt it. Okay. Well, what now?
Yeah. And even from the other side of that coin, you need to learn. I mean, like the lessons that I've had to learn. I can't just say, especially someone who has any kind of anxiety, we need to have a talk later. No, I have been learning, look, later, I want to sit down and have a talk with you about such and such. Okay, don't have time right now, but, later on we can sit down and hash it out. And go ahead.
I was going to say, and one of the other lessons I think you've learned is that if what we need to talk about is our relationship, I don't get I get time to know it's coming, but you don't make me wait days. It's not like you're like, okay, on Friday. At 9:00 at night, I would like to sit and talk about the state of our relationship because there's a problem. If you tell me that on a Monday, I'm done for the week. I'm a basket case. But if you tell me at 7 on Friday that at 9 on Friday you want to talk about it. That's enough lead time for me to gather my thoughts, but not so much that I get extra anxious.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's the hard part about this conversation. We can tell you what lessons we've learned, but they are completely personal to my needs, your needs.
Right.
It's what did you see coming that you're looking back on now and going, oh, yeah, I knew that was coming. What did you see coming? What didn't you do that you could have done? Was there something you were afraid to do? Was there something you wanted to believe that it could work itself out? Do you still believe that in another situation it could work itself out? Sometimes, this has been my hardest lesson, and yours too, because as we've said before, we're fixers. Sometimes there is no doing something to make it better. There is only letting things play out. That has been my hardest lesson to learn, is that sometimes I don't need to jump on a problem and fix something. I might communicate a sense of something doesn't feel right, but there's no 5 steps I need to follow to fix this, air quotes around that, right? I just need to let it play out. So sometimes what you do is you look back in hindsight and go, I don't think there's anything I could have done. It just had to play out like this.
Yeah.
Or maybe I could have, the one thing I could have done was cut off this planet out a little earlier. I mean, I saw the writing on the wall, but I just waited until it died. Its sad little gasping death over there. I have done that in order to not break up with somebody. Oh, I'll just let it wither and not be a total awful human being who goes. I don't ghost anybody. Have I? Probably 20 years ago, I probably did ghost somebody before we called it that. But I won't work at it if they're not working at it and I'm not working at it and I can see it withering. Sometimes I'm that is the that's better. That's the path of least resistance. That was the one I wanted. That's the path of least resistance. We'll just let that die over there. And one of us will finally admit it to the other and won't be me because I will be ignoring it. I do have that tendency too. But you know what? Sometimes things just need to die a natural death. Just let them. But that's the thing. When you're saying to yourself at the end of an argument with a partner you're still with, at the end of a relationship that didn't work out, whatever it is, and you're saying, I saw that coming. I knew that was coming. When you're in a space where you can handle looking back on it, because it's not always right then, that's the follow-up to go, okay, but was there anything I could have done differently? Was there anything I would have done differently if I had been positive that this was the outcome? How will that inform the decisions I make in the future?
Yeah. And somebody brought up in the live chat about how about not saying anything about wanting to talk until you're ready to sit down and talk. And you know what? In its simplest breakdown, that's it. That's it. But hi, I'd like you to meet Kayla Lords. She's my baby girl. Brilliant woman, sweet as hell, but she will fill up every minute of every day.
Yeah, if you don't tell me you need time to talk, you're not going to get my time to talk. Also, though, here's the thing I've noticed. I know when something's not right between us. I was having that feeling just a couple days ago. I was ready to say, I think we need to have a conversation. And I can walk around knowing something doesn't feel right and then wait for the, 3 days later, I might have 5 minutes to talk. Mm-hmm. Or I can go, you know what? I'm going to make this a priority. Even if I can't talk right now, I'm going to set my intentions. I'm going to say, I need to talk to you. Something doesn't feel right. I think we feel off. I don't have time to talk right now, and you don't either, because I'm, an observant human being. I can tell when he doesn't have time to talk. When can we talk?
Yeah.
Because sometimes setting that intention, letting your partner know there's something big enough on your mind that you're willing to schedule that time to talk or set that time to talk, gets them maybe not on the same page as you, but helps them recognize that this isn't just some random thing you're going to throw out. Also, I want to know that I've got your focus and I've got your attention. And if I say, hey, we just did these 5 things and I'm catching you right now. Do you have time to talk? Which is another alternative you can ask. But if I'm like, I'm ready to talk right now, and I didn't tell you I was ready to talk to you, am I going to get your full focus and attention? Are you going to have time? Are you going to be in the mindset to hear me on something important? I can't know that. So, anxious human planner that I am, that's how I'm going to handle it. God knows you can handle it any way you want to handle it. But I do think that there's something valuable in creating intention around a conversation that is about something that's on your mind, weighing heavily on you, something that doesn't feel right, something that you're sensing that is wrong. That is where a lot of our conversations start, is one of us senses something's not right. I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's you, but something's not right. Can we talk about it? And
there's a trembling in the force kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt it the other day. I didn't like it. And then we started watching Netflix, and we got busy.
Yep.
Because that is the other thing, that you can be in a quiet moment with yourself, super clear that there's something that you need to talk to your partner about, something that doesn't feel right, something that you're barreling towards, something that might not end well. And yet life gets busy. It's easy to kind of push it to the side because maybe we don't want to have to face it. Maybe we want to pretend it's not as bad as we think it is. Maybe we're terrified to know what the answer will be when we say something to a partner, and we're like, you know what? I would rather binge watch The Good Place on Netflix. Thank you very much. That may or may not be a real life example from this past week. And it is very easy to let other things, whether it's the mindless things where we don't have to think about anything that's bothering us, or it's the busyness of life, kids, work, school, like whatever we've got going on. It's very easy to let those things interfere and to take precedent. And sometimes they need to, but not always. So, okay. Okay, I think I went through all my notes. Okay. I didn't think we had a lot to say about this.
Yeah, no.
I think it's more about acknowledging that it happens to many of us.
Right.
There's no perfect solution to it. Sometimes it's unavoidable. The thing is going to blow up in your face, or the relationship's going to end, or the argument's going to be had with your partner, or whatever. And so all you can do is think about what you learned, look back on it, and see how that helps you.
The thing is, when you get that feeling of dread, when you have that gut instinct, it's easy to let it snowball and get out of control in your head.
Oh God, yeah.
And you need to have the conversation. You need to talk. You need to get it out. Otherwise it's gonna consume you. It can consume you. And one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to find out there was a kernel of truth to it, or there wasn't. And you just got to do it.
It's the messiness of life.
Yeah.
You're part of having a happy, healthy power exchange relationship, or any relationship in life, is having messy conversations sometimes. Having half-formed thoughts and not knowing why you feel the way you feel, but something is making you feel that way. And just discussing it with your partner. And they may be able to offer clarity. Their reaction might determine everything. If I said to you, something doesn't feel right between us, I'm not sure what it is, and I'm feeling disconnected. That's usually what I say, is I'm feeling disconnected, and I'm feeling uneasy, and you don't seem to be acting in a way that I'm used to. Is there something going on? And I can report this as how I handle it, so it's why I would put it out there. Their reaction tells you a lot more than you realize. When you try to deflect,
oh yeah,
I can always tell when there's something on your mind you don't want to talk about, because what do? You puff up like a banny rooster. You're like, you get loud. You get like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm like, and I'm watching, right?
That's
I'm like,
not it at all.
Like, that is an outsized reaction for what I just said.
Yeah.
So sometimes your partner's reaction will tell you everything you need to know.
After these years, you know my tell.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's something on your mind before you know there's something on your mind.
That's true.
Which is terrifying for both of us and also very frustrating because I've learned to wait because I used to jump on it. I used to be like, I'm feeling we're not on the same track and I don't know what's going on and something's on your mind and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Next thing you know, we're like fussing at one another. 2 days later, he's like, so
by the way,
there's something on my mind.
Yeah.
So I've just learned to wait a little bit. I'll just sit back and go, okay. I'll wait till he acknowledges there's something on his mind, and then we can have this conversation. But again, that's a moment of looking back where we had an unnecessary argument, and me going, ooh, I knew that wasn't going to end well. I should not have spoken up in that moment, at that time, at that way. And so the next time, or maybe 5 times after that, I finally get the lesson of just sit back and wait, So there's no solutions. It's just a thing I think that so many people say, but we never seem to really dissect what it is we're saying when we say that.
I think it's something you need to work at. It's a lot of trial and error to, I mean, it's something you need to work at, but, there's no concrete way to do it, and you just have to keep trying till you find what works for you.
Yep. And whether it ends well and you resolve the issue and the relationship moves on, or you end the relationship amicably, or it doesn't end well, there's lessons to be learned from all of it that you can hopefully help inform what you do in the future with that current partner, or that same partner, or with a different partner. Yeah, it's the messy bit. There's no I can't give you a checklist.
No.
I can't give you standardized reasons for why this happens. But I do think that when you find yourself going, I knew it. I felt that coming. I knew it. Take a few minutes. Look back. What did you know? What didn't you do? What did you do? What could you have done? Yeah. What will you do next? What will you do next time? And that's sort of all I have to say about that. We will do a bonus section. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So are we good?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah.
We're good?
I don't know. I don't decide that.
All right.
I mean, you said nice things about me, so I'm very good right now.
All right. Ready, baby girl?
I don't know.
All right.
Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next week. Dottie.
Yes, baby girl.
Can I talk to the crickets, please?
No.
No. Well, are you going to talk to the crickets? Or are you just going to leave the crickets out there hanging, just waiting? Just like, is she going to get permission this week or not?
Why are you still talking when I said no?
Because I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the crickets. You didn't say I had to stop talking. You just said I couldn't talk to the crickets.
Well, no, a few times I've been checking my phone because I thought I heard it vibrate on the desk, because when we record, I have my phone silenced. And I thought the phone, I thought I heard what was the phone vibrating on the table. And after a couple times, I realized it's not the phone. The dog is sleeping and she's snoring.
Yes, and it does sound like a buzzing.
Yes. Goofy dog.
So, may I talk to the crickets?
Yes, you may, girl.
Thank you.
Yeah, you may.
Okay.
Go ahead, baby girl.
Okay. Our emoji of the week. I didn't do an emoji of the week last week. God, last week was so filled with so much information.
Yeah.
And they don't make a sex toy emoji, although they should. Our emoji of the week is whatever emoji you like or you use, pick, that is your worried face. I'm trying to find mine in my emojis. Oh, mine is, I do 2. One is the emoji with its eyes wide open, like bulging eyes. And then the other
flat
one.
Lips.
And the other one I do is the one where it's crying, but there's no tears. It's just sort of that whiny look.
Yep.
Yeah, I might try see if I can find it. So yeah, that's because this whole conversation ends up being about worrying. I mean, it all comes down to worrying, doesn't it? Always. So let's see.
I've used that one a few times.
Oh yeah.
No, not that.
No,
that one.
The one. That one.
That one. Yeah.
That one. There's also, if you're in the live stream chat, you can see the ones that we're picking. But God, YouTube's emojis suck. So that's our emoji of the week. Yeah. A reminder that the postcard project is going on. If you are watching on YouTube, you can see some of the cards that we have received. I need to pull them down. It's okay. I've been sending out postcards. Postcard project is US only. Sorry about that, because I have postcard postage. That was a mistake. I shouldn't have purchased it the way I did. So mistakes were made. The benefit is that I need to use up this postage. And so I had postcards made that says, "It's fine. I'm fine. Everything is fine.
It's fine.
It's fine." And so when somebody in the U.S. sends us a postcard, a letter, a Hallmark card, a whatever, you don't have to do anything special, with their return address, I send out a family-friendly postcard that says, "Mistakes were made, but at least you got this postcard." And so we're going to refill our backdrop board behind my head with the postcards and the letters and the bloody-blahs that come through. So, there's that. Yeah, I mean, we had a good Thanksgiving.
We did.
I did not take as much time off as I intended, but
neither of us did.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We had a good Thanksgiving. We ate way too much food. Yep. It was delicious. The kids were good. They were home. That was fine. And now we're back to normal, just waiting on all of our online shopping orders to come in.
Yeah.
Awesome. I mean, that's how we did our holiday shopping. Anyway, I prefer, since online shopping has been a thing, I have preferred to do Black Friday shopping and stuff like that online. But in past years, I would at least go to stores for small things. And we're doing it all online.
Yeah.
We have not decorated for Christmas yet because we're still waiting on our Christmas tree.
Hopefully tomorrow we should have our tree. And I was thinking maybe this evening we could start getting the stuff down from the attic at least. Because there's some stuff we can put up. I mean, we can put the stockings by the fireplace. We can put
our wreath up.
Our wreath up and, different things like that we can still do that need to be done. So.
We did get a mini tree for the office. We need to decorate that.
Yep.
It lights up and everything. So yeah, we still haven't decorated. We are also, one of the things we purchased that hopefully will arrive when the tree is ready to be picked up from the store is we're going to do one of those outdoor projector light things for Christmas lights instead of trying to hang any lights. Ooh, no, we're not hanging lights. So yeah, we still have to do that.
Jennifer, we were really seriously considering a live tree this year, and then we came across some things about how real trees are not really good with the pets,
especially
between the cat and the dog. Yeah, especially the cats. So we went ahead and pulled the trigger and got a artificial tree. A nice one.
We've always had prior to last year we'd always had them, but they'd always been the cheap ones that only last a couple years before they were tilted to the side.
Yeah, we went with a little better tree this year, and we were lucky. We got it. What was a 40%?
Yeah, 40% sale.
So, we're hoping that the tree will last us long enough to more than pay for itself.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. So, we're good to go with that. Kayla and I both talked for this holiday season. There really isn't anything either of us want, so we're not going to exchange
we'll do
big gifts. I mean, we'll do
stuffers.
stocking stuffers and little things like that. with getting the cat and now the dog, that's kind of a gift.
And then we got a bunch of business stuff for Black Friday because the sales are too good to pass up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, and as we come across something that one of us might want, we're like, can we do it? If we can't, we just wait. And if we can, we go, well, why are we waiting to pretend to wrap it up in paper and hand it to the other one? We'll just get it now.
Yeah.
So.
And Missy asked about how the cat and dog are getting along. They are doing okay.
Yeah.
They're slowly getting used to each other. I mean, Lola wants so badly to be friends with Onyx.
Last night we're sitting on the couch. Lola's basically in my lap, and she's looking off to the bedroom because she can see in it, and she's just staring. And I just looked at her and went, I know, Lola. I want her to love me too. We just both have to wait.
But there are times we still put the baby gate up on our bedroom. What I did is I raise it high enough off the floor so the cat can duck under.
Yeah, she won't jump over it. She could. She's a total jumper.
She's more than capable of doing it. I've seen some of the leaps she takes, and she could, but she won't. She will, however, go under it if I raise it up high enough. Now, Lola will go sit by
the baby gate.
The baby gate, and then in the beginning we just had the bedroom door cracked. Now keep the bedroom door wide open, and Lola will go sit by the gate and look in the bedroom. Now in the beginning, Onyx would poof vanish like a mist. Now she sits out. I have seen them at this point. They have come within, Onyx will have come within 2 feet of
Oh, wow.
Lola.
I hadn't gotten to see that yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the beginning, now, Onyx has never really hissed at the dog. She did do the cat thing where she poofed out, made herself look twice the size that she is. She no longer does that. She is very calm about it. What I thought was really a step in the right direction. If you know anything about cat body language, when Lola is by the gate, Onyx will sit for a cat with a very relaxed thing with her paws tucked.
Yeah, she's not about to spring out.
She doesn't have them out front like she's about to spring away. So she does have a very relaxed. Now at night we do put the dog in her pen, and she's closed in there, and cat freely wanders the house. But what I have noticed is now during the day, Onyx is wandering out more and more and is darting back to the bedroom less and less.
I know. I don't want to rush it and let it happen naturally so they're both comfortable, but I'm ready for that baby gate to come down. Because we climb over it to get into our bedroom. And it's like when you really got to pee, what you're trying not to do is like spread anything wide.
Yeah.
You're clenching, and I'm like, I've got a pole vault into my bedroom to get to the bathroom. Okay, this is fine. I don't mind. It's fine.
A few times I've used the boys' bathroom now to avoid climbing the gate, but that's a whole other scary adventure.
Yeah, I'm not using their bathroom. No, I'm not using teenage boys' bathroom. No, it's not happening. So yeah, they're good.
So they're doing good.
Lola's just snoozing away right now.
Her mid-afternoon nap.
Yeah, lucky girl.
She's funny. She's kind of we have seen she's kind of moderate with her energy. She's not real active. She's kind of chill.
Thank God.
Thank God. But we did have a situation where she started exhibiting extreme zoomies in the office.
Yeah, and there were several people, like several of us are in here.
Right.
Both the boys are in here with us. There's not enough space for all those zoomies. I mean, she was throwing her toy into the air
and
leaping
after
catching it. And when she would leap up, she would turn
like
in the air.
Flip in the air, yeah.
And so she was facing other directions, and like she was banging into everything.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
So what ended up doing was took her outside and got her to run off some of that excess energy.
It sounded like a galloping horse in the backyard. She ran so hard.
She ran across the yard, turned around, and came, and she was charging at me. She would come charging up at me, and then within 4 to 3 feet, she would just like stop, and she'd look at me, and she'd shake herself, and then she'd run back off the other direction again. And then she started doing her laps.
That's where I heard her. I could hear her.
She
laps.
does laps around the yard, around the fence line. And that got her to work off some of that excess energy.
Yeah, so we have learned. Oh, you're a little energized. Let's go outside. Let's run that off. Because you're way too big to be doing that in this house. So yeah, she's a good girl though.
Yeah, she is.
She's a sweet girl. She thinks she's a lap dog, but we expected that.
Right.
Right. We're getting used to that.
I've learned if I go into the bedroom to take a nap, I am joined by the cat. If I lay on the love seat to read or take a nap, I am joined by the dog.
Not me. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Nobody lays on me. It's fine. Actually, you know what's sad? If it happened all the time, I would be annoyed by it. And because it doesn't happen at all, I'm envious. But whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So yeah, that's our life right now. We are just chugging along. I'm sure there's a million things that I wanted to say or tell you about that I have forgotten, and so I will save it for the next time when I remember. But yeah, that's it for us, I think, this week. Wow, this might be the shortest one we've done in a very long time. Yeah. We've got, I think, 2 weeks left before we go on our break for 2 weeks. The week of Christmas, the week of New Year's, we always take off. So, and we'll have our live, this is a live stream if you're watching us on YouTube. We'll have our Friday night hangouts up until that break begins. So you can catch us there. Yeah. And of course the podcast comes out on Friday. Hi, podcast listeners. Yeah. So yeah, we're still around.
And Aria, dog parks, there are several dog parks around here. We were actually cautioned by the rescue because of her breed and the stigma that goes with them to avoid dog parks.
Our dog park, the one that's right up the road from us, might be okay because we saw a damn Rottweiler in there and nobody was flinching. So maybe it's timing.
So it might be,
We'll see.
But anyway.
Yeah. So that is us for this week. Thank y'all for joining, for listening, for watching, for being here, for participating, for whatever you're doing, even if we're just background noise.
Thank you.
And we will see you the next time we are doing a thing on the internet somewhere. Okay.